All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Teen It Up podcast. I'm your host, AC, with DFSKarma.com and BetKarma.com. We're going to talk everything tonight on the Players' Championship. Sam, first big tournament, I feel like, of the season. Obviously, this is when we start rolling. We'll talk, as always, about last week's tournament, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Bryson did his thing. Some good golf last week, I felt, all around. Just a lot of things, and we can talk about that. DraftKings-wise, I cashed again. I am undefeated. I got a qualifier tick this week, so I'm assuming, Sam, this will be the week that I lose, right? So yeah, we'll get into it. How did your week go, DraftKings-wise? Anything in the betting markets? I came up with dust this weekend in the betting markets. Almost won a parlay, ended up not winning anything in the betting streets. How'd your week go overall? And then talk about the tournament a little bit, and we'll get into the Players' Championship.
Yeah, I didn't have any outrights to hit. I had a live bet that I put on Chris Kirk to win in top 10. I don't know. I don't think he was ever really going to beat Bryson. I just thought if he could post like a -9 or a -10, he could maybe get it, but he just was too busy parring all the par fives. But yeah, I mean, I actually watched a ton this weekend, probably the most I've watched in a while. Sunday was awesome. It's funny. Paul Casey was saying, he's like, yeah, the conditions suck to play him, but I'm sure it's entertaining. And it really was. It was awesome to see. Lee Westwood's a savage. I really want him to win. I mean, Bryson, I don't know. He's so good. I should have, thought about how important off the tee is at that tournament. Bryson, honestly, I'm not a Bryson guy really, but I respect his talent, and watching him hit the ball over that number 6 was like so cool. But either way, the week I kind of broke even. My cash lineup was really, really good. So I never really had a sweat after day one. I entered one of those qualifiers at U1, and if Burns had made the cut, I think I probably could have won it because no one who finished, like 8 guys finished ahead of me, and none of them had Burns. But it is what it is. I needed a little more from Corey Connors at the end. I needed a little more from, I needed Rory not to choke it away again. But it was a good tournament. This week, my article I got up early. If you check that out, I did try to preview a little more than normal about the actual course. But it's funny. Sawgrass has been played for so many years, and it, like, when you look at it, it's like, oh, it's so gettable. These par fives are gettable. There's drivable par fours, but there's just so much trouble everywhere, and so much. I think there's water on 17 of 18 holes, and we've seen like a multitude of winners, right? Like we've seen Webb win, who's a shorter hitter. We've seen a lot of these guys who are shorter hitters, and then you've seen like Jason Day and Rory, who are long hitters, and Tiger's won. And so I don't think there's like one specific skill set. I just would caution people to, it's a week to definitely, in my opinion, play multiple lineups and get away from the chalk. Especially the cheaper chalk, because this field is 10 people more than it normally is. There's so much trouble on the back nine. And
my phone's
yeah, you're gonna get that. There's so much trouble on the back nine, and I think it's interesting how important bogey avoidance and strokes gained around the green is compared to just overpowering, and so that's why I have some interesting thoughts on the field. But yeah, you can't really ask so much of a better field than this, 48 of the top 50. So it's always exciting to watch this tournament.
Yes, great tournament, the 5th major of the year, quote unquote, unquote. As always, real quick housekeeping, you can find all of the content, cheat sheets, final thoughts, core plays, which you can tell Sam and I at dfskarma.com. As mentioned, of course, the projections portal, which shows obviously the projected points, the value, the projected ownership, and then I love all the win odds stuff, the top 5, top 10. It bakes in a lot of that equity, as long as, of course, horse rank, stat rank, and everything that Sam cultivates into the portal. That's free on the website. Check it out. It's already live. I'm looking at it right now. Interesting to see a lot of low ownership just out the gate in the middle to low tiers. A lot of concentration, of course, up top. So I cashed this week. Again, it's hilarious. It's kind of funny at this point. I'm 11-0, and I have this massive qualifier ticket, $7,000. I will play my core play. So if you want to tail me this week, come on over. I'm playing the same core play in this qualifier, so I'm excited. But I think the reality is, we talk about game theory a lot. I don't think I'm going to change anything. I know, Sam, you like to troll me and make fun of me being a chalk monster. It's probably what I'll do yet again. I'll probably play the good plays. We'll talk about them briefly tonight. Y'all have the core plays up. I'm assuming my lineup will end up, I get contrarian? I think a million is to first, right? So, yes, I should get contrarian a little bit and blah, 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 take a shot. But my thought is at this point, I'm having a really good season. Again, that just doubling up, yes, give me the $14,000 to $15,000 in real money, because the ticket doesn't mean anything unless you actually cash something. So as lame as it sounds, I'm going to play my cash core, my main core lineup that I play every week, and I'll probably just go with it. Maybe I find a guy that's lower owned in the 7K range, but looking at it right now, I had a lineup. It's not like we keep our lineups on Mondays, and I just looking at your ownership. I mean, it's pretty chalky. So
the one thing I'll say though is, I rip on you for playing a lot of chalk, but it's something I write in articles in our Discord and we send a pot a lot. It's like, to be different, you need one guy who's like, and like, which you do a lot. It's like you'll play it in cash, which is like now the quote unquote cash build. But if you have, it doesn't matter if you have 5 guys that are 15% owned and you have one guy who's 4, that's all you need. You don't need to have a contrarian lineup, which people forget. But yeah, I'm interested to see the way you go and other people go this week, because it's like, obviously there's probably a case to be made for like every player that's above like 8,000. Like literally every guy is obviously good. So.
And obviously, you kind of talked briefly on the course. I mean, it's, I want to use the word challenging to an extent, I guess, but like, it's just volatile. I don't know if you use that word, but like, it's every year. I mean, I was looking back at my notes, and every year, wild things happen with players that, you wouldn't assume, and then vice versa, right? So, I just think, again, stick with a good core. I think right now, maybe we'll change this podcast up a little bit. We'll keep it, as always, under 30 minutes. We won't take up too much of your time. I got to be honest, Sam, I'm probably taking literally nobody up top. If anything, maybe I start my core lineup with your boy Webb, your kind of cover boy, which I was, marinating on. And then you brought him up in the text last night, I think, when I was laying in bed. And then again, I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe that's wrong. I mean, easily Rom can win. He probably has the most. I'm so bullish on Rom long term, and it seems like he's still not winning enough. I don't understand it. Like DJ, not to talk funerals and stuff, but I don't know. He's coming from the Gretzky funeral. I don't even know where that was at. Knowing DJ, his head's not going to be in this. Rory still can't make putts. I mean, he's lingering all the time, but like, dude, Rory going into the weekend, he does nothing.
Did you see his interview post? Do you see Rory's interview post round? It was concerning. He literally was like, I don't know what it is. I just don't have a spark. I don't know if I need to change something and go a different direction. I just do not. He just doesn't seem like. It's just funny. We always talk about it's like in the grand scheme of like Rory, right? It's like he finished like 6 2 weeks ago, and like he still like makes a cut every week. But it just seems like that winning upside. It's always there, but right now he just seems like he doesn't have confidence in his game, which is weird.
It's going to come back. It's going to come back. We'll be playing him every week. I mean, he's
going to win like 3 times at the end of the year in a matter of like 6 tournaments. And it's like, oh yeah, he's fine.
I love when we critique guys like him, because he comes in like 10th place every week, and that's bad. Every week
he's right about Rom like isn't playing great and finishes has like 8 top 10s in his last like 10.
So that's the thing. A lot of these guys have warts. Brooks is out. I will be honest. I mean, to me, Bryson is the easiest fade of all time. I mean, I love that he won. I'm not going to lie. Like I had no vested interest. I didn't have Bryson in my main lineup. Again, I cashed last week. I didn't have him in betting. I was rooting for him down the stretch because I damn well know he's going to be more popular than we probably would have thought going into this tournament. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, but this isn't even a Bryson course as is. No. Like, I love it. And
I mean, I wrote it in my article where it sounds dumb to talk about, like, he's the top whatever he is in the world, and he's obviously amazing. And I number one think it's funny when people say he's not a great putter and he gets lucky because he's like one of the best putters on tour. But it's more like the distance will never hurt him. And these par 5s are easy like they all are, but like this course you need to be able to hit your wedges and like save par. And he just is like not. He doesn't. He misses a lot of greens as wedges, which is
really does.
I'm excited to play Xander.
One guy came to mind, gun to head. One guy. Who are you playing? All these guys up top. I'll tell you who it is for me, and I'm still debating it.
In what price range?
Just let's say non-Web. Everybody, Bryson and above. To me, it's one guy. Maybe it's a gut check.
Oh, for me, it's, I mean, if I had to just play one guy, it would be Rom. But I think my favorite play is Justin Thomas. I mean,
Damn.
no
Okay.
one.
Yes. It's JT for me. I want to start my lineup with him. I really do. I know you're trolling me into Webb. I do agree. Webb is probably quote unquote optimal. And maybe I do go that route, but like I'm gonna triple check. I know JT's gonna be on. I'm not stupid. I mean, I'm looking at your ownership right now, but we'll see. I mean, JT's weird. Like if Bryson does get the hype, we can check out our friends from Fanshare Sports. Shout out to those guys. Maybe Bryson does become 25, 35%. You never know. Like Brooks being out does kind of hurt because now there will be more concentration. Webb's probably going to be mega chalk. We can start going down the ladder. But yeah, that's like my thoughts. I'm kind of considering JT. I do love JT. I just feel like he's going to pop. And this to me is like a JT course if he freaking puts the driver. Like, tell me, Sam. Like,
I don't know what his problem is.
Driving as much here or no? Do you need the driver still?
No, I mean, obviously off the tee is important. It's more that like you just need to value accuracy over distance, which is why I'm a little concerned about JT as he's been spraying it. But then again, we've seen Spieth sprays it all over the course and has like the most exciting 68s you've ever seen. So it's not
going down that path at all.
I keep being wrong. All
right, let's kind of gravitate towards the next, unless you have anything else with the guys up top.
No, we can move down.
All right, you can start this kind of tier, and then I'll give my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, you already mentioned all this quick. Yeah, I don't know why some weeks it's like a Sunday or Monday morning. I just like him so locked in. I just think Webb is going to win. He's my favorite play of the week. But a close second is I really like Cantlay. Unfortunately, he will be popular just because he's playing well and everyone knows him. But I was hoping it's like people don't know that he like withdrawals because he just like doesn't like to play a lot of weeks in a row. And he had like he's not hurt. So I can't play a lot. I think he sets up like so perfectly for this course. And then, I mean, I guess I won't take all the guys, but I'm absolutely going back to Reed after he burned me so bad because no one's going to play him now because he missed a cut, which he does a lot. And he is never going to pop, but like you have to get up and down from everywhere. He does that. He scores well on par 4s. And then my guy who I'm looking right now, I hope his ownership kind of holds, is I love this course for Scotty Scheffler. And I think people won't play him because you can play so many of these guys like Finau and Cantlay and Berger and Hideki and Spieth around him. But like, I think this course is so good for him. It's crazy. I like him in cash. I like him in a main lineup, but those are the guys in that range I kind of like the most.
So Scotty to Hottie, my boy who won me all that money at the PGA with a couple other guys, of course. He kind of was, when I first made my build, like I think the lineups came out on Sunday. I think pricing came out. I was like, what? Mm-hmm. And Scotty was in my first build, and I do tend to like make a lot of my main lineups. I swear to God, I am that loser, but I feel like it's made me a better DFS player. I don't know if you want to pause that, rewind. If you're listening, maybe that's bad advice, but over the years, I think I've become a better player sticking. This is all sports and DFS, sticking to my original thoughts. And I don't know the science behind it. I'm not that smart, but Scotty was in my main lineup. Right now he's not. I agree with you. Like he's just good at everything. I mean, he's sick, dude. And I enjoy watching him. He kind of comes out of his shoes a little bit, which is, I feel like how a lot of us amateur golfers kind of golf a little bit. But my thoughts are I might come off Webb and look at Scotty as just give me the discount of $600 and like force me to get off. Not that again, I like Chris Kirk will come down to the 7K range, but it's like he's already 12% owned. Like, my God, like he's in my main lineup right now. And I knew he was going to be chalky, but it's like, dude, I got to figure something out and find one guy that's lower owned. So I don't know. I mean, Scotty, you don't have any apprehension of him just being the true quote unquote bomber that only succeeds at bombers tracks. That's why I started kind of getting off him, but he ranks 3rd in my model. He ranks 7th in strokes gained tee to green, 17th in ball striking. I guess could be a little bit better. 6th in bogey avoidance, which is nice. 2nd in the longer par 4 scoring, and 4th in greens and reg. I mean, he does check a lot of boxes. Yeah,
I mean, he just to like. I mean, he's just the kind of person I just like because not like he can't win, but even if he's not going to win, at 8,900, he can easily make like some of the most birdies on the week. He can make eagles, and he can just rack up a lot of DK points. And so his
Damn,
putter,
you're like now, Sam. Look at you graduating and moving on up.
I don't know. I just think his putter will inevitably let him down, but it's not like he's like Hideki or Corey Connors bad at putting. He just won't make. He doesn't choke. He just doesn't make a ton of putts like above average, which is fine. I mean, speaking of Hideki, I'm going to be early on Hideki. I'm playing him. I don't care. He's looked.
I don't know.
He just looked. I feel some sort of, because I'm still not like salty, but annoyed that last year I had him like everywhere betting, everywhere DFS, and he shoots 900 in round 1, and then COVID happens and the tournament's canceled. But like, he plays well in die courses. He's been, it seems like, lost for a little while, but the last 2 tournaments he's looked pretty strong, and it's like, it's what we expect. You know, he's hitting it really well and putting like garbage, which is like what we expect. So I like Hideki. I think he could get some buzz if enough people talk about him, but he just has been so weak. I feel like he's not going to be the chalk that, you know, a year ago I bet you he was 15 to 20% owned, and now I don't.
Yeah, I agree. He's not going to be. What are you projecting right now? Hold on, I'm going to the projections portal. Yeah, low. Wow, he's under 10%. That's actually really low. I mean, you're not going to find too many guys like below 10% until you get to the 7K range. I'm not playing him. I don't. I can't do it yet.
I get the fade.
Yeah. Okay. You're right, though. You got to be early, right? So you're making a good point. You have to sometimes take stances and at least be early on a guy or whatever. Who cares? I prefer balling, dude. Like, I mean, my God, him and Casey, I'd almost prefer those guys. I mean, I don't know if they're going to make my lineup.
I was about to ask, who do you think has more scoring upside, Hideki or Casey? I think it's Hideki.
I would say Casey right now. Casey's playing really good. And I just don't.
He is. Of course,
dude.
I don't know why Paul Casey sucks at this tournament. I don't know what his deal is at this tournament.
That 9 a couple of years ago still burns people. Hey, real quick before we keep moving on, I did want to circle up. Totally agree. Cantlay's kind of like, I think, the bingo free square of the week. I'm pretty sure about that statement. I feel really good about it, and he should be really good chalk. So I feel like that's not just don't fade him. We talked about Trengali last week. To me, this is Cantlay. And then for me, you didn't mention him, and maybe you just overglanced him, but like, it's a lock, mortal lock, going right back to Morikawa. I mean, this guy is like my favorite player in tour. I mean, yeah, he's going to be high owned. 20%, whatever. But like, dude, I mean, you could probably start a lineup with Morikawa instead of Webb, and it'd be different right there, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't believe you didn't mention Finau even once.
Yeah, I looked at him, and the only thing is now we're getting the whole DFS golf season is a little bit, man, it's hard to get away from Finau. I actually really like him at the Masters, to be honest, but I just don't like him here. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to top 15. He's going to do his thing, but I just don't like this course for him. I'd rather have the more bomb and gouge for Finau. He's a little erratic with his short times, you know? Like, when do you ever see him dropping dimes from 150? I don't know. I mean, but he is.
Are you playing? I think it's an interesting one because he does not rank out well for me, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on Sung Jae?
Man, he's coming around, I think. He's going to be a good.
Kind of so.
This course fits Sung Jae. Now, this course fits.
I agree. His approach has been kind of weak lately, in my opinion. But
300. Yeah. Oh wow. I just pulled him up. He's looking really bad with his irons, dude. This guy though, he's one of these guys I'm starting to realize like he's a baller. So when his irons aren't working, he figures it out. He's almost like I'm not saying this guy he's gonna top 25. So yeah, he's gonna top 25. You're right. The iron game looks really bad. Short game looks bad too. He's making putts.
I'll go through these couple guys. As I mentioned, I don't know. Adam Scott, I normally am playing. I'm off. He's not hitting it well at all right now. I mean, the fact that the only he's gained with is his putter in the last like 4 events is concerning. That's not going to keep up. I mean, he's such a bad putter.
Yeah, there's a little change, like, talking stocks and stuff. There's a little changing in the guard going on, I think, in golf right now. I mean, honest to God, there's just the young talent is oozing weekly. You can see it now, dude. And some of these other guys, they're awesome. Like I love the Adam Scotts of the world. I really do. I love the Paul Caseys. I mean, dude, Hideki's not old, but like, let's be real. He's been around the block. I mean, these guys are starting to like move on to the next tier. They're going to pop at times and they're all going to win again. But I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather play the Scotties of the world and the Collins and the Cantlays.
My favorite like GPP play in this range is Cam Smith. I wrote in my article, he's in there. And what I said, I don't know. He always kind of seems overpriced, which he is. And he's like a pretty volatile player for being this price, but like all he does is save par and then score on par fives. Like that's just like what he does. That's like what you need to do.
He's like a gamer too. Like if he's in it, he's gonna fix a way to be. I love having him on a weekend and he starts making a move because he lingers. Yeah. I mean, it's a good play. But what's his projected ownership?
I have him like 8. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like he's a guy who, like you just kind of say, like if he's, tied for 44th on going into Saturday, he could easily backdoor like a top 10 because he just kind of goes out and does a thing. But he's just played a lot better than I kind of gave him credit for over the last, 3 months. He only missed 1 cut.
The 2 vomit plays of the week, whatever you want to call them, disgusting. But dude, we have the optimizer up for those watching, excuse me, on YouTube. Check it out. It's a product on our site. Sam's making 20 lineups this week. I'll probably max out the $5. I think it's a $5. I haven't looked. But, I use the optimizer. It's great. You let the machine learning simulations kind of do the work. You can ebb and flow and dial up the ownerships. Like, for example, if Cantlay comes in at like 70% owned in your lineups, all you do is adjust the max column, if you want 40%, and then it adjusts. It's super easy, super friendly. I am thinking about going maybe 5X on Louis Oosthuizen this week and potentially just
dude.
optimizer. Like
me too.
This is classic Louis setup. This is what he does. He withdraws and then he top fives or wins the next week. I mean, and this is like a Louis course. I feel like this is the type of setup where Louis can just literally win.
Well, yeah, dude, he all he does well is like make putts and like chip near the hole. That's like all he does well. And that's like what you need to do. I totally agree. It's like, and it's funny you said 5X because that means like 10% because he's literally not going to be owned by us.
You're projecting him for 2%. This is so amazing. You don't even need to do much like effort at the optimizer this week. If you really want to be lazy, get our optimizer and go to Louis and just 5 or 6X him. And then who cares what the freaking machine spits out? It's going to spit out good players. You don't have to do that much work. All you need is some leverage. Pick a few other guys, but you get the point.
Yeah.
All right. Who else?
Are you playing Fleetwood? Because I'm not.
Let me see. How did he? I mean, he was there on the weekend. Wow, 7,900. I mean, jeez.
Yep.
Wow. His iron game is starting to come around. I mean, the fact that he's 7,900, the sharp players who've been around a long time probably are going to go there. I actually didn't even, before we got in this podcast, I thought I did a good job at looking at pricing. I didn't even see Fleetwood at under 8K. To me, that's like a red flag. Like, why is it under 8K? Now that I'm seeing this, right? I mean, yeah. That's a really good play. He'll probably be 10% owned, but he probably should be 20.
He's hitting it well. I don't know. His putter is going back to where it normally is, where it sucks. And then also he just kind of, he just is so susceptible to these massive numbers. It just it takes him out of it, whether he's missing putts or I might talk about him on Sunday, where obviously it was hard for everyone, but he just is so live to just make an 8 out of nowhere. Just kind of.
The problem is he just has no upside to win somehow. I want my guy. I mean, generally, I'd love to have. I mean, even the Corey Connors of the world. At least that dude is gonna be there. Not more often than not, but he will be. If he's actually rolling. I don't know. Tom, that's the only thing. I do like that play though. Anyone else in this next mid to lower tier range as we come down? I mean, our boys out for us. Jesus, is this guy?
I mean, I think
he a cheat
code plays. I like them all. I assume will be Neiman, who I do like. Zalatoris. Answer is probably, in my opinion, the free square cash of the week. He's just better than that price. And then I'm obviously going to play Corey Connors again. I mean, you said yesterday, he's always around 7,500, 7,400, Corey Connors. Yeah, always. Just play him always.
Well, won't play him. So here's why I love trying to qualify for these queues. there's random people, Sam, as you know, they win, right? Like they bank random people. They don't play that much. They're going to get cute with their lineups. Like they are going to be playing like the Harris English is like a one-off, and the Mark Leash. I mean, whatever. Maybe those guys do bank, but that's why I think if you stay tactical in your approach and you are making quote unquote a chalky lineup, but it's really just a good lineup. I mean, you're probably going to beat most of these people in these type of like qualifier type tournaments, at least to just double up.
I was just laughing because I heard it was so funny and so true that Pat Mayo on his podcast was talking. He's like, yeah, I saw a lot of people tilting like Corey Connors, all these missed putts. He's like, for those of us who follow him every week, this is like normal. He misses these like him 3-putting from 20 feet. Like that happens on a regular basis. Like I wasn't even tilting that.
He actually putted well last week, ironically.
He did. I know.
In my opinion, it was a mistake by myself for not playing. He was in my main lineup last week, and then I was like, oh, I'll go to – I don't know who I wanted Max Homa bad. He actually ended up playing really well. So I kind of finagled something in my lineup. But Corey Connors, I mean, how do you not play him this week in cash games? I mean, he'll be 40% owned in that qualifier, I think. I mean, but if he's anything below that, it's not – that's just – he's not – I mean, if he misses the cut, whatever. But, yeah, you need Corey Connors because he will be making birdies on the weekend. That's why you need him. All right.
My pivot from answering cards is Russell Henley because I play Russell Henley every week.
Yeah, I went through that spell with you. I don't know if I can get back on it, but
dude, Russell Henley.
Good pivot.
I'm just saying, Russell Henley. I looked this up in writing my article. Has gained an approach in 16 straight events.
I mean, damn. See, now that's an interesting pivot off Corey Connors. To be honest.
Why? Oh, totally. That's like the obvious pivot for me because like Ricky is. I don't know what Ricky is anymore. I mean, Bubba sucks. Kevin Nas. I'm probably gonna.
How come Henley? I feel like we haven't been playing him. Where's he been at? Genesis, Waste Management.
He torched me at some event where he missed a cut, or I think it's like one missed cut, so I banned him for like a couple weeks.
What is Henley's
I just think
history here?
Not good.
It's not good. I can't find it right now. Sorry.
I mean, he's like missed 3 of his last 4.
I don't know. I mean, I do
again,
like that.
I don't value course history here as much as other courses, honestly.
I agree.
Absolutely, I'm going back to Sam Burns after he killed everyone, including me.
What's his price at? I didn't even
73. Like, come on.
I'm not I mean, I agree with the logic to the game theory, but he like looked awful last week, and I don't know, maybe it's just some of these guys. I was trying to say this earlier about Finau, and I didn't, but I think at this point in the season, we know the guys because we freaking stare at our phones every weekend and we're looking at our lineups. Some of these guys have played so much, and like, dude, you know, golf, like you do get like mentally exhausted. And I don't know, there's some of these guys who've been playing, like, you know who I think of right now? Hovland has played way too much golf. Like that dude is going to come off the rail soon, and it might just be a little short-term blimp, but I don't want to play Hovland this week. At least in my main
Max Homa. Max Homa's played 7 events in a row.
Some of these guys are just going to start ejecting soon because they've been playing a lot of golf. And dude, they need like a weekend or 2 off. But you know, I get it. Man, I'm looking at Tommy Fleetwood again. It's an interesting price, and I didn't really see that before, so I might check that out again.
7,200 Pete Dye course. Siwoo Kim is automatic. Always play Siwoo Kim on Pete Dye courses.
Yeah. Totally get that. There are guys like in the 6K range. Not that there's so many guys, but like, man, there's 2 guys. Okay, you already know who I'm going to talk about. Number 1 is Keegan. I can't even believe it. Like, I've wanted to play him for a few weeks and I haven't, but man, he's been popping every week, and we keep talking about him on the podcast. I swear to God, he's like figuring out how to putt. He gained strokes putting last week. And then also, our boy Griot, I took a look at him, 6,700. The ball striking's immaculate as always. This is actually a Griot course. I looked at his course history, like you said, not that it matters, but it looks really good. I mean, he's actually a really interesting play this week because he fits the whole Pete Dye narrative. I actually don't have the stats on this Pete Dye, but I'm just guessing that Griot like performs well on Pete Dye.
Yeah, it's the first time I've wrote him up in like at least a year. The only other guy, like, he could be a little popular in this, I mean, quote unquote popular for the 6K range. I do like Charlie Hoffman. He's played like actually pretty well. He just hasn't been putting well, which is not that abnormal for him.
I have him down. I have him written down to do another hard look at him. He's somebody I'm considering is like, that 5% owned type play.
I mean, super punts. I don't mind Andrew Putnam. Believe it or not, last week was the only week he played well. He's been playing decent.
Anyone else way down below? Where's my boy? Is it EVR here? Jerry Kelly's the bottom 6K. He's going to do something hilarious and he'll make the cut. And I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Anyone else? I mean, 6K range is really, really pretty sick, to be honest. I mean, there's just not many guys.
Yeah. It's not
a couple
great.
of these guys will pop. I mean, I don't know.
But again, that's the thing. I mean, I put in my article, and you'll see other people talk about it, where it's like, 2 years ago, I think 4 of the top 6 scorers were under 7,000. I'm not going to say it's going to happen every year, but like, given the talent of the field, like, obviously it's always viable to take these guys. I mean, Kevin Streelman, GOAT. I mean, obviously.
Richie, dude. Chris Kirk, I mean, he's going to be chalky, 7K. I mean, Doug Gim's down here. He's been popping a little bit. Doug Gim is 6,200. That seems interesting. I mean, he's more of a – I mean, he's been playing well. I mean, again, there's going to be sharps out there that take chances on these guys in the low 6K range, and you can unlock a lot with your lineup. But there are good guys in the low to mid 7K range. That's why it's like, are the guys up top, are the DJs, Roms, Rorys, JTs, are they literally going to go? Oh, I feel like this might be a week where they do go overlooked. Maybe you and I are on the same concept as everyone else. I mean, it's an odd week, but I think it's something.
Yeah, I think DJ is going to be not that owned, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. All right.
And we all know what happens when.
That does it. Good luck this week, y'all. I mean, Sam, any closing thoughts? I mean, obviously, we'll be in the chat room this week. As always, you can access the chat room at dfskarma.com. You can tail our picks at betkarma.com. Go check out that option there.